Setting: a small, fog-covered village in northern England. The year is 1986. The old house on Blackthorn Hill. Everyone in the village of Dorsham knew the house on Blackthorn Hill. It was a crumbling estate with ivy-covered stone walls and shattered window panes. No one dared go near it, except for its two inhabitants, Edgar Hawthorne, a retired clockmaker in his late 70s, and Margaret Whitmore, a once renowned opera singer, now in her 80s, who hadn't sung a note in 20 years. They were the last of their kind, keepers of secrets, too old to be remembered. The uninvited guest one rainy evening, a knock echoed through the silent halls of Blackthorn House. Edgar opened the door slowly. A young man stood on the threshold, soaked to the bone, carrying only a small leather bag. "My car broke down," he said. "Can I use your phone?" Margaret appeared behind Edgar, her eyes narrowing. "We don't have a phone." The young man hesitated, then nodded. "Then may I rest here for the night?" Against Margaret's silent protests, Edgar allowed the stranger inside. A night of whispers. That night, the storm raged. Thunder rolled like cannon fire. The electricity flickered and went out. The young man sat quietly by the fire, but Edgar couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The man's bag looked heavy, too heavy for someone with no luggage. And his eyes, they scanned the room like he was looking for something. Later, Margaret whispered, "He's not who he says he is. I saw a scar on his wrist, the same one Victor had." Edgar's blood turned cold. Victor Whitmore, Margaret's estranged son, presumed dead after a robbery gone wrong 30 years ago. Midnight revelation. At midnight, Edgar crept downstairs and found the young man rifling through drawers in the study. "What are you looking for?" Edgar asked coldly. The man spun around, startled. "It's none of your business, old man." Edgar drew a hidden revolver from beneath a stack of books. Margaret entered just then. Her voice trembled. "Victor?" The man looked at her, eyes wide. "You remember?" She stepped closer. "You were declared dead. What are you doing here?" Victor lowered his voice. "You know damn well what I'm here for. The key. Father's key. The secret vault." In the basement of Blackthorn House was a hidden door. Behind it, a vault, not filled with gold or jewels, but evidence, ledgers, letters, and recordings that could ruin powerful people. Margaret had kept it locked since her husband's death. Victor lunged forward, grabbing Edgar's gun. In the struggle, the gun fired. A single shot echoed through the halls. Victor collapsed. Margaret stared in horror. "You killed him." Edgar shook his head. "He was going to kill us both." They dragged the body into the cold cellar, locking the door behind them. One final song. The next morning, the fog had lifted. Margaret sat at her old piano, humming softly. For the first time in decades, her voice rose in song. Slow, sorrowful, haunting. Edgar stood by the window, watching the road. "Do you think anyone will come looking for him?" Margaret asked. Edgar replied, "Not if he never told anyone where he was going." She stopped singing. "And if someone does?" Edgar turned. "Then we do what we've always done, Margaret. We protect the house and the secret." Epilogue. A year later, a group of hikers found a rusted old car abandoned near Blackthorn Hill. No sign of the driver. And in Dorsham, Blackthorn House still stood, quiet, brooding, waiting. Inside, Edgar's clocks ticked. Margaret's piano remained untouched. And in the basement, behind thick stone walls, the secret still waited, the sign of return. One winter evening, Edgar sat at his workbench, winding an old clock, his favorite one, which had never stopped ticking. Suddenly, The clock stopped. He opened the casing to inspect the gears, and something strange fell out. A small, folded slip of paper. In faded ink, a single word was written. Return. His hands trembled. He slowly turned toward Margaret and showed her the note. Margaret stared at it, pale. How did this get inside the clock? Edgar's voice was barely a whisper. He's back. Shadows outside. That night, strange sounds echoed around Blackthorn House. Shuffling footsteps in the attic. Faint knocks at the windows, whispers that vanished with the wind. Edgar looked outside and swore he saw a shadow dart behind the trees. Margaret had a dream. In it, Victor stood at the foot of her bed, blood on his face, eyes empty. He kept repeating, "Give me the key, or I'll take it." She woke up screaming. Edgar double-locked the basement vault that night. The next morning, it was open. The missing body, Margaret, descended into the basement, her heart pounding. Victor's body was gone. The old freezer was still there, bloodstains frozen on its metal surface, but the corpse had vanished, without a trace. "This isn't possible," Edgar said, wide-eyed. "I locked the door myself. No lock keeps out the dead," Margaret whispered. She sat at the piano again, trembling. "Some secrets don't stay buried, Edgar." The fall of Blackthorn House. A few nights later, villagers saw smoke rising from Blackthorn Hill. Blackthorn House was on fire. Flames engulfed the old mansion in minutes. By the time the fire brigade arrived, it was too late. Nothing remained but ash and stone. Nothing, except one thing found among the ruins. A key, untouched by flame, lying perfectly clean amid the blackened rubble. Final line. To this day, people of Dorsham speak of Blackthorn Hill in hushed tones. They say something returned that winter. Not just a man, but a secret, and some say a curse. Because what came back wasn't just a son, it was vengeance.